So welcome to another vlog, and you may have guessed that I am seeking out some water today. I am a little bit fed up with the woods, shall I say. I just fancy shooting something a bit different, a bit more creative, something that I'm used to from back when I lived by the coast. So I've come to a local body of water of mine, hoping to shoot, I don't know, maybe something a bit more minimal, something involving slightly longer shutter speeds and movement. So I've just come across this little bridge from over the canal, and I've just spotted these little weirs, and I'm just sort of playing around. I'm just sort of warming myself up really. I'm not really sure I'm going to get a shot. Nothing too extravagant here. It's kind of just a warm-up exercise. So I'm going to pack my gear up, take a little walk around this little lake, and see if I can shoot something a bit more familiar to me. I have missed being by the water. I'm not sure if you can see, but down there is a tree that's fallen into the water, and that's the sort of thing I'm looking for when I'm walking around this edge of this lake. I'm looking for objects that sort of go in and out of the water, kind of like this shot here that I took way back when I was at Colliford Lake when I was living down in Cornwall. That's the sort of thing that I want to shoot today. Hopefully I can find something like this, but even from this vantage point I can't see. It's too overgrown. I need to be looking down on it so I can eliminate any sky. I don't want that bank in the background in the picture. I want to sort of trick the eye into thinking and wondering what it is, so I need to find something like that I can actually shoot. This is the tree that everyone seems to shoot when they come here. I'm not really sure why. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking tree, but from this angle the background's not looking very promising. Maybe with a bit of mist. Right, let's keep looking out. This big old tree behind me is catching my eye. It's sort of slumped down into the water, which is again the kind of thing I'm looking for, but where the wind's up, which is perfect for me for long exposures because I like a little bit of ripple, because when you flan it off it goes like milk, whereas if it's like a pond you get that more of a glass feel to the shot. I don't really want to be able to see through the water. I want to flan it off like ice. So that little bit of rippling does help with minimal long exposures on water. But the downside to that little bit of ripple is obviously there's a bit of wind, and it is causing these little tiny branches to just flutter in the wind. So anything that's in my frame that has a longer shutter speed than, say, with the wind the way it is at the moment, maybe 30th, 40th of a second, it's going to be soft. So I just have to be careful in picking my subject and make sure it's a more substantial branch, log, twig, rock, whatever that's sunk in the water, so that breeze doesn't really affect any movement. These geese are absolutely loving life. Absolutely loving it. Wow, I found something. Well, I think I found something. I've come down a very steep bank and it's very enclosed down here, but at the same time it's quite peaceful. I'm tucked out of the way. I don't really think many people can see me, and I found like a nice bluey sort of tinge to the water where the sand underneath is nice and clean. Water's very clear, and these nice branches that are all covered in moss that sort of dip in and out. And I'm just using the long lens to try and pick out some detail. Now there is a branch which goes into the water, it's going down towards the water, and then you can see, which is green, got a nice bit of ambient light from above, and then you've got a nice dark twig which would have been attached down in, and they're not connected. One's under the water and one's not. So that's what I've been drawn to. That's what I'm going to shoot, and again it's just an experiment. I am clutching at straws here a little bit, but I'm going to get myself set up, and it's going to be very hard for me to change the camera angles other than this, so I think we're going to stay there, and I'll talk to you in a minute once I get set up. Right, so I've got my exposure sorted. I've taken the exposures around a second, and one's around a third of a second, and I'm getting too much glare with the fast shutter speed. A second is getting there, but I'm going to put a 10-stop, a 6-stop filter in my little case pouch with my filters in, which is handy in these situations. You can just put them in your pocket. Yeah, so I'm going to put on the magnetic case 6-stop and try and drag that shutter out to around 30 seconds. Hopefully that'll sort this shot out. I'll give it a wipe first. So I'm shooting around 20 seconds now. I'm at f16 because I want to keep this little branch that comes in from the corner nice and sharp right through. It's okay. I don't really know if I like it, if I'm honest. It's been a hard slog this morning trying to find something that is worthy of showing to you guys. I was far more hopeful of being able to see something like this, but within better circumstances. This is very hard to shoot. I do like it, but I'm not really sure that it works, if I'm honest. The glare, I can't eliminate completely the reflections. And it's just a nice scene to look at, but maybe one of them ones that doesn't necessarily photograph very well. I don't know. I'll keep persevering, and I'll try and make the most of it. And on the way back, I'll end the vlog somewhere along there. You never know. I might see something on the way back, because sometimes when you're walking away from something, you just turn around and look back on where you just come from. You do tend to see things obviously in a different light. So fingers crossed. So I think I'm going to call it a day. This is what I was looking at on the way here that I was just talking about a minute ago. But again, I can't isolate it because it's a bit close to the tree next to it, and the reeds up. I can't get a good angle on it. Yeah, it's a lovely lake. It's just very overgrown, and it's not a lot of the decent stuff is accessible. It's that kind of old thing was, oh, what's over there? And you get over there and it's like, oh, what's over there? You go a little bit further, a little bit deeper. And yeah, I can't quite get to where I want to be. Where I was a minute ago, I'll show you the shot in a minute. Not sure I should really. Yeah, that's kind of as deep as I could have gone. I did have to jump over a fence, well, step over a fence to get there, so it wasn't barbed wire, so it couldn't have been that serious. But yeah, I had to jump over a fence to get there. So now It's a shame I can't go over the side. I can't go over this side. That's all farmland, so you can only walk down backwards and forwards down one way. But it's still been a good exercise. I have got a shot. I will put up shots from Colliford Lake because I absolutely love them shots. I just don't think I'm ever going to get bored of them shots. Hang on. There we go. It's better. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get bored of them shots. They just sum up my personality instantly. I was after it again today. It hasn't worked out, but I will be back to maybe not this lake, but there are a couple little smaller, I guess you could call them big ponds. One of them's on private land, I think, so I am going to get in contact with the landowner just to see if I can get a little bit closer. But anyway, yeah, I'm Photoninja. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been a bit of a flop. The last few weeks have been a bit of a flop, but that's just the way it goes. Especially with everything in lockdown, we're not going to be shooting the French Alps anytime soon, so it's time to branch out, suck it up, and take a few on the chin until we get a little break in this weather, or I'm able to get out a bit more. But I'm enjoying my photography. I'm enjoying my kit. I'm enjoying getting out and walking. So yeah. Right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Photoninja. I hope you enjoy my shots. I will put a few of my favourites up. So let's call it minimal, long exposures, and I'll see you next week. Ciao. So I just thought I would talk a little bit about the shots I took, and this shot was the first shot that I took of the little weir and the water coming down into the overflow, and I just thought that at the time I wasn't feeling it. It was cold, it was raining, I haven't been feeling very well particularly, so I thought I would just use this, like I said, as just a training exercise to get me going, and as it turns out, I don't think it turned out that bad. The idea was to sort of I wanted you to feel like you didn't really know what it was until you sort of looked at it a bit further, and I think it turned out that was the case. This second shot was the one where I was sat on the edge of the bank, praying that I didn't fall in, and again, I wasn't really feeling it at the time, and it's growing on me. It's not an instant, it's certainly not a portfolio shot, but I like the thought process and how I got to this spot, and I don't think it turned out too bad, but like I said in the video clip, I really don't like them reflections. I would have liked to have been able to control them a little bit better, and I was sort of compromised by my composition because I had a tree on the left which was coming into frame and a tree on the bottom right corner, so I was sort of pinched in. This was my only option, but yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. And then a little bonus image for you, which is my favourite of the whole walk, weirdly, was just on the way back at the same weir from where I showed you the first image. There's another little pool with this sort of chambers that are all hidden underneath the water. I really got sucked into a long exposure. It's right on my street. It's very minimal, it's very arty, and you really don't know what it is at all. There's no context, there's no sort of journey, shall we say. It is what it is, and the thought of not knowing what's going on or where it is what attracts the mind, the eye to these sorts of images, and that's why I like taking them. So love it or hate it, it's a bit Marmite, but yeah, please let me know down in the comments section below how you think I did, and do you like these sort of minimal images, because in terms of the woods and shooting things like this, I do think, and I do enjoy shooting and challenging myself to these more arty images, hopefully more and more now that I'm familiarising myself with some more local water, and it just goes to show that you can get images wherever you go, in whatever conditions it was. Windy, wet, cold, and dull, and I come away with 3 images that, yeah, they're not award-winning, but you know, I'm fairly happy, especially with the last one, considering the conditions we had. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this little explanation through my images. I shall be doing this a bit more, I think, and I will see you next week. Ciao.